Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may already know, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of you in the comments section. So, this time, a Sergeant Cupcake suggested Rick's loadout from The Walking Dead, this being the M40A5 sniper rifle with an 8x scope and a straight pull bolt, and obviously his trademark 44 Magnum. Now, obviously Rick also played a few times with the AK-47, but we don't have the AK-47 in the game, so I guess we'll just make do with some other guns. So the M40 is a bolt-action sniper rifle that was introduced in '66, and the A5 variant that we see in these FPS games like Battlefield 3 and 4 has come a long way since then, and it was introduced in 2009. It got a threaded barrel to allow for muzzle accessories like the sound suppressor, but really what we see in the game of Battlefield is not what is real. One of the things that always gets tweaked for a game is usually muzzle velocity, which is much less than it would be in real life. In real life though, during the Vietnam War, the Marine Corps decided they needed a standard sniper rifle, and after testing several possibilities, they ordered 700 Remington Model 40 and gave them the M40 designation. With time though, certain weaknesses, primarily warping of the old wood stock, became apparent for obvious reasons. Sometime in the early 70s, the Marine Corps at Quantico started rebuilding the M40 into the A1 modification, primarily replacing the original wooden stock with the Macmillan A1 fiberglass stock. In 2009, the A5 modification started replacing the A3 variant, primarily replacing the barrel, as I said, to allow for attachments like suppressors. Apparently the A6 is also in the works, as a new version is to have a modular collapsible stock to make the rifle easier to fit into, small spaces like vehicles. And it is supposed to add a full-length rail for optic accessories, as the A5 only has a few inches of space on the rail in front of the scope for night optics and such. There are also apparently slight differences I did not know about between the M24 and the M40, although the Army also uses the Remington 700 as the basis for its weapon, the M24. It's slightly different in action. Apparently the Marine Corps uses the short action version of the rifle, allowing for the 222 or the 223 Remington and the 243 or the 308 Winchester cartridges, but the Army uses a version to allow for bigger full-length cartridges like the 30-06 Springfield and the Magnum cartridges such as the 7mm Remington and the 300 Win Mag, although shorter ones like the 7.62x51 NATO can also be used. But this of course is a game and facts have no place within it, so we look towards the marvelous sight of Simthic to know what this rifle can do in the game. Obviously we had this rifle already in Battlefield 3 before we had it in Battlefield 4, but the stats changed a bit since then, most notably the damage. The maximum damage now starts off from a maximum of 100 at 12.5 meters and drops off to 59 at 100 meters, which it didn't used to do before, meaning in close quarters this rifle will kill, hitting anyone anywhere but arms and legs. It also means that a headshot will kill in one hit at any distance, something that every sniper rifle must be capable of, in my opinion. Now, the M40A5 in Battlefield 4 also claims the dubious title of having the worst muzzle velocity of any bolt-action sniper rifle, meaning headshots over distance and bullet drop become a real problem with this thing, as well as painfully slow bolt-action cycle time of 1 second, since it only allows for a rate of fire of 60 rounds per minute. It will recoil up a standard 0.25 degrees per shot, and it has a first shot multiplier of 2. The reload times are also nothing to write home about, clocking in at 2.7 seconds for the short reload and 4 seconds for the full reload, which makes it something you do not want to run out of ammo with. Now, I ran this thing in close quarters, mostly as I thought, Rick would be using this thing mostly to clear out buildings from walkers and just, pop them left and right, go for headshots in, tight situations that he doesn't really want to put, long distance shot down range. But for that, I dare say this thing works well enough. It's over distances where you get into trouble because of its low muzzle velocity. Now, I'm mostly familiar with the TV show The Walking Dead, and I'm told it is not true to its comic book origins as many TV shows are, but I actually ran a Walking Dead loadout quite a while ago, way back in the days of Battlefield 3, when we had that awesome bow to play with, which was a bit of a mixed loadout. There was this the Darrow's bow, obviously, and the Riggs 44, and so on, and it was fun. I'll now link that video to the back of this one if you want to check it out. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Ridiculous Loadout, and now, because I don't feel like suffering alone, Sergeant Cupcake must also run this loadout and upload it to YouTube, and I'll accept link down below in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video, it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.